What's up, guys? It's James Patrick here with the Black Queer Culture Show's Queer Space, where we have small, consolidated conversations with amazing people. The premise of this show is to have dialogue with other entertainers, community activists, and just amazing figures in and around the regional area. And so tonight we are joined by two amazing people that I'm very blessed to call friends. We have Miss Shannon Ivey, and we have Mr. Christopher Goff. Yes, how you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Wonderful. So one of the things I love about Queer Space is that I like to bring more than one person into the bedroom. And we so we can. I didn't want that to go there, but my brain was like, go there.
It's Friday.
And so I like the color of the conversation. I like how it all blends, and I love the different perspectives. So without further ado, who are you, and where did you come from, and what do you do?
Please, you first.
Oh, thank you. So I'm Shannon Ivey. I call myself a story strategist. It's so good.
Got to marinate on that.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
So I'm the founder of something called Gather SC LLC. And I'm a fifth generation entrepreneur.
Wow.
In my family.
Wow.
Right? Even though a few of the generations are farming.
Yeah.
And education.
Uh-huh.
And so I went through the education route, was a theater professor, and then found my way into entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. You found your way there.
Yeah.
So many of us just kind of like started there.
I did not want it. I did not want it. I knew. I told my realtor, all my family's in real estate, I told them all I'm not doing that. Why would you do that to yourself? Why? Just give me a regular old job. I'm just going to show up and do a regular and have a paycheck, show up, and then COVID.
Yeah. Oh.
Kid at home. And so I had to reinvent myself and use my skills, which I was already sort of dabbling in with events. Yeah. So events are a wonderful way to like test out your entrepreneurial nature and learn marketing and advertising and like all the things. So then I decided I've got to figure this thing out and make it sustainable. That's a question, but I've learned a lot.
Sustainability is the root word of it all. Speaking of events, Christopher, do you prefer Christopher? Christopher.
Yeah.
I want all the syllables and don't you miss one.
That's right. Thanks for asking. That takes me all the way back to when I was a kid. My Mimi and my mom both got really upset when I started school, and they found out they were calling me Chris, and they came in to make sure that it was named. That was not what they named me. So rest her soul. We lost her in 2019. So now, just in this next chapter, that's one of the ways that I always keep her with me, because I absolutely remember her insisting that I be proud of my name, because it definitely stands for chosen by Christ, and that's one of the ways in which I live my life.
I love that. Shannon touched on events, and that sparked my brain because I know that you are in event planning and luxury event planning.
Luxury event planning.
Tell us more, because you've got your hands in a couple of different things.
Yeah, so one of my biggest brands is Christography. That's my fashion brand that is now in its 10th year. I'm really excited about that. It has migrated. I've absolutely been adaptive with it. But currently, I am a certified custom clothier. So I make suits, tuxedos. I hope you guys are liking what I'm wearing today. I also have accessory pieces. This duffel bag is one of mine. But I've also produced 20 high fashion runway events over the last 10 years.
Amazing.
I've always supported a 501c3 nonprofit in the local community, because it's definitely good to give back, something more important than just getting your own steak, right? But I'm currently working on a new 501c3 that I'm not quite ready to go public with, but just know we're this close to hitting the mark. And with this being my 10th year, I've got a full 7-day fashion week coming up this Monday, August the 31st through Sunday, September the 6th. 7 days of runway shows. Different show has a different set of designers, a different theme, different venue. So I'm really excited about that.
I love it.
My second business, the GH Group, is a luxury hospitality business that's in its second year. I have 8 W-2 employees. That's something I'm very proud of in 2026. I give them company matched 401k. We haven't got the benefits yet, but I'm working towards that, right? But they manage concierge and amenity services at luxury apartment communities in Charlotte, North Carolina. Big shout out to the Francis Apartments right across from the NASCAR Hall of Fame. That was my first signed contract. They gave us a chance to come back into the market, and we've been killing it with our partnership with them. But both of those find ways to work together. They're both individual LLCs, but there's always a way to bring things full circle to let one business benefit the other while simultaneously benefiting the 501c3 and the community.
I've learned early, you want to make money, you gotta have a little bit of money, and I've definitely funneled like one thing to help another thing so that that thing could
Flourish.
help that other thing, and yeah, I mean it's entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It's entrepreneurship, and there's an ugly side to it. I feel, and I won't, I want to reframe that. There is a challenging side to entrepreneurship as a queer person, as a Black person, and just being in the space of the LGBTQ community. There's definitely some challenges that I'm pretty sure we've all faced in similarity. I think she's looking at me like, oh, where you want to start?
What you putting down?
What you want to put down? I have my own list. Mm-hmm. What do you like? What have you personally gone? What was one of the biggest challenges that you've gone through early on in your entrepreneur career?
I am a starter. I will bring things, I will innovate in the community. And I like say I'm everybody's auntie. But when I bring something to the community, I have felt that as it infected the community with its awesomeness, and then versions of it would pop up, I felt like I never could hold on to that growth. I felt like I was always giving it away to the community, which I love. I love where I live. I chose to live here, but then I just couldn't iterate fast enough. But it's like, oh, she doesn't care, but maybe a little bit, I'll be like, well, say my name. I say your name. Say my name when you do this. So do you know the history of this?
Yeah.
And that makes me feel 1,000 years old. But that's what I notice. It's like when I start something, I have an internal challenge of being like, if it's a good idea, it will get copied. If it's a good idea, it will get copied.
Does it make it hard to want to continue with that?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And, I'm getting to a different phase of life.
Yeah.
And so I've moved into more of a supporting people and their ideas.
Yeah.
And so all of that learning I did while launching all the story slams and all that work, that story work, I now can support other people and seed it instead of trying to compete. Like I noticed that there's enough room at the table. But as a queer person in our town, it's very, very small. And creatives is very, very small. And then and women assigned female at birth, can be competitive because there's only 2 leaders. And so then if one of them's queer, then it all feels very competitive. And I don't like to hold that in my body.
Yeah.
I actually want us all to win.
Yeah.
And so if I can figure out a way, like I launched this community coaching. So that means like my pricing is expansive and people don't have to prove it. You need my help. You know my skill set. Come choose. You get to pick. Let me support you. And I don't have to compete anymore. I literally just pour in, but I also get poured in too and pay my mortgage.
Yes.
So that's a little twist that I've put on it.
Because we want to give back, but we also want to pay our bills.
Come on.
And I'm sure you understand what that feels like.
I just didn't want to interrupt, but do you mind if I chime in?
Please.
Because I'd just like to respond to what you were saying, right? So, especially doing runway production, right? There are a lot of other producers that do it, right? And over 10 years, I've 1,000% seen folks doing ideas that I had formerly tried myself. It's one thing about me. Every year I'm very innovative. I just change, right? Yeah. I've never used ballrooms at hotels because I feel like they're mundane and look like everyone else's. So I've always found out of the box, unconventional venues that weren't made for a runway show, but were changed to be one, right? And I think that innovation is one of the staple pieces of my brand. So I know I'm not going to duplicate something I've already done. Because I'm going to do something new. So to be honest, I look at it as a compliment. that they thought it was good enough to try to redo because number one, it's not on the level, but they definitely got the E for effort.
Yes.
Right. And so I don't mind. I don't mind the flattery that it happened. At the end of the day, I have a choice to either focus on how others are trying to sabotage what I'm doing or switch that energy into something positive and just keep my focus on what I'm doing, recognizing that my following and the people that understand and appreciate my brand will stand by me as I stand tall. Recognizing that my brand is not for everyone. And that's something that I had to take some time to learn, right? The first couple of years, I was trying to appease everyone in the market. Part of it was for DEI, because I'm very much so a believer in diversity and inclusion, right? For more reasons than one. But it was more than that, right? It was more than that. So I feel like after year 3, I started to recognize that I did not need to chase everyone in the market.
No.
And I didn't need to be the biggest. I just needed to be the best at what I was doing for the people that believed in me enough to support that mission. And the moment I shifted focus, it changed the whole direction of how my days were running.
I love that, and I love that you changed your perspective.
Don't be a victim, be a survivor.
I absolutely. And you know, a famous poet once said, "You can never ever ever get on my level, ho." And those are words that I live by on a regular basis because I also think that people have been getting queer people's permission to do things. We've been giving so much permission and we don't even realize it. I thought about this a couple of months ago when I moved to Charlotte and I said to myself, people just need permission to do something. And sometimes that permission makes what they're doing look like what you were doing. And I don't know if let me back up. I don't know what people's MO is, but I feel like people want to feel the life that they see so vividly and they want to replicate that. So they try to do what you're doing.
That's a problem in present day society. Like, on one hand, I fully recognize with the businesses that I have that social media is imperative, right? That's a full-time job in itself, right? I have someone for it. But it's important that for social media to benefit the business the way it's meant to and the industries that we're in specifically, right? It has to be good content. It has to be stuff that people want to see and that they're going to follow. And a lot of the time, that's not necessarily real. That's not how we as people are feeling on the inside. And I think that is giving a false perspective to a lot of folks in society, especially younger youth coming up, who are thinking that imperfections are inhumane and a problem, when in fact there are plenty of mornings where I wake up and get my tears out of the way, right, and go through my agoraphobia of convincing myself to leave for the day before I go and sell myself to everyone, right? But then at the end of the day, I feel so relieved because, of course, that was the choice that that's the life that I love, right? But it doesn't mean that every day is easy. But who projects that? Who lets people see that? And I don't know that I have an answer of how to overcome that. But to find success as a queer person in society in the industries that I'm in, I find that it's very important to maintain the face for society that society wants to see.
Shannon, Chris mentioned diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to, that really hit a mark for me because being a woman, being a cis woman, you stand at the corridor for cis-ish something.
I identify as Peter Pan as if played by a woman.
Yes,
so
that is my cosplay character.
For real?
Yes, absolutely. It has nothing to do with children. So how, with diversity, equity, and inclusion, how has that been an advantage point for you and a disadvantage?
So also, I don't feel like a victim. I just know the capacity to continue to innovate it can leave one needing time to rest.
Exhausting. 1000%.
So I don't feel like a victim. I would say it is literally, it is the joy of my life. But it puts me in places, it's in my personality to be a champion for other people. Like, I can't turn it off. People are like, why don't you just sit down and relax, and that's not your fight. Well, I wasn't, that's not in my core. I know when I can be helpful, but I think a part of it is I was DEI before I knew I was DEI. I saw it around me, and that's very white woman of me, white Southern woman. I'm like, oh no, things are happening to over there people.
Yeah.
And then because of a shift in my training, when I went to Theater of the Oppressed training to understand what was happening in my teaching when I was at South Carolina State, that's when I realized, like, oh, wow. So also being a woman is interesting. That's doing things in these rooms when I'm often in my career around men, and I'm good at being around men. And I realized that also I was playing in the roles they wanted me in. But the minute I pushed back, then other feelings began to happen. And then that's even before I came out. So then it's like I don't quite belong in any room that I'm in. So I have to make a space. I have this little Post-it note on my refrigerator that says, welcome yourself. So I might say, welcome your damn self. And so a part of it is like I have to be grounded enough to know that straight cis white people might think I'm a troublemaker. In fact, maybe someone in my family said that recently, and I was like, excuse me? We were just having a nice chicken dinner. What is happening right now? It flew out, dementia. So, and in other rooms, I am very much white. And in other rooms, it's like, wasn't she married to a man? And in other rooms, if I were to chase belonging, I will never get it. Never. I had to realize that and have my tears at night and then just be like, yep, in this life, belonging is in me. I know who I am. I know what I'm here to do. And I got to stay grounded in that to be effective at all.
Yeah.
And some people, when they get that about me, they're like, I see what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, it's so nice.
That precedes the permission. I think, because you're welcoming yourself, like you're making space for yourself.
Yeah.
So people feel that.
Yep.
They see that, oh, he's welcoming me.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't even welcome myself.
Yeah.
I don't even welcome parts of myself.
Right.
That's beautiful.
And it's not centering yourself. Like,
no.
In my case, that would be really dangerous. But it's just like, I'm okay right here. And I'm okay with you being you. And I'm okay with you being you. And whoever's around me, if they can feel that just a little bit. And then...
That's a win.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I should bottle that. Put it in a spritz.
It's my essence.
One thing I would like to say before we finish, if you don't mind, white privilege is very much so a real thing. And I think that's one of my largest pet peeves is when folks try to act like it isn't. It doesn't matter how educated you are. It doesn't matter how immersed in culture you are. It doesn't matter what kind of environment you grew up in or how many minority friends that you have in your contact list. You don't know what it's like being a person of color in America in 2026.
Yeah.
Right? And to try to pretend that white privilege is not a real thing is ignorant. And also to pretend like white people don't use it to their advantage.
Yeah.
At times, some more than others, right? But there's not one white person that can say that it has not in some way benefited them, and they have to know that, right? So I just think it's important to recognize in 2026, even as a white queer man, I'm still very much so more privileged than any other demographic in society.
Yeah.
Other than cis straight white men, right? And that's sometimes a hard pill to swallow, especially just because of the person I am and the way I was raised and the kind of environment that I've always found myself in comfortably, right? But that has just made me educate myself to realize it's important for the platform that I have to be able to continue to recognize others for the even harder struggle that they have to accomplish some of the things that I do. Even though I work hard, like trust, I am out here grinding all the time and it's not easy. Entrepreneurship is just hard in general, right? But there are others who have more obstacles in their path, the same path that I have, for no reason other than the fact that they're a person of color. And to try to ignore that is one of the definitions of white privilege. And so I like to call it out. I like to call it out because I think it's very important, especially with the number of racists in this last 2 years that have just suddenly emerged back into society, right? We used to say those folks in the black and white pictures of the history books was somebody's granddaddy, but now it's somebody's uncle, it's somebody's brother, right? And that's a really hard pill to swallow and conversation to have as well. So I think for us who believe in diversity and DEI, which has been attempted to be washed out, I think it's very important for us to stand tall with the platforms that we have for folks that are underrepresented.
Oh, can I throw one more thing? Listen, the culture of calling people out versus calling people in, who gets called out, who gets held accountable. I'm watching that happen online for especially for queer-owned businesses and for Black-owned businesses and Black queer-owned businesses, and who we rake over the coals for choices that aren't harming anybody's children is astounding to me.
Sure.
So I don't think I really recognized that until I came out and was like queer in public, queer in business in public.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to pop that.
Oh, being queer in public.
And being queer and cute in public.
And being queer and cute in being queer to make a check. Thank y'all so much. We're going to conclude. I'm queer for pay. No, I'm not. Edit that out. Thank you.
It was so wonderful chatting with you. It really was.
Thank y'all so much. Really, thank you for your time. Thank you for your gifts and your talents, and thank you for your contribution to the community and the world, and every piece of fabric that you sew together. Every time you stand on stage or at a podium, you are making a big difference. Thank you guys so much for joining Queer Space, and we look forward to seeing y'all soon.